Told you I was going to do it again. How's your day going? Hope everybody's blessed in the Lord. And since I know you are, let me share this verse with you. This comes from Galatians 6, 7 through 8. It goes as follows: Be not deceived. God is not mocked. For wherever a man soweth, thou shall he reap. If he sows in the flesh will be corruption. If he sows in the spirit, it will be everlasting life. Many times we sow into the wrong things. We sow into our jobs. We sow into technology, science. We sow into material things. But the one thing I know is that if you sow into the gospel, you shall definitely reap a spiritual, everlasting reward. And I don't know who I'm sharing this with today. Who needs to hear this word? Because a lot of people think that sowing is not important at all. Now I know what you're saying. You're saying, hey man, I just can't get to church ever. I've never been to a church. I can't put no money into the churches. I don't want to give no money and I don't want to. So I'm going to address that first. There's nothing wrong with giving into the house of the Lord. The money you think that's just for the churches is not only going into the church. Of course, they got to pay their light bills just like you do. But it also goes into the spirit realm. And it's there for you. And it's there so the Lord can see it. The Lord don't need your money. Let's get that straight. Yahweh doesn't need anything from you. Well, who is Yahweh? God. God doesn't need anything from you. That's why you think, well, man, I don't have to sow into the church as much. I don't have to give as much. You don't. You never have to give God a dime and he'll still be God. But it's good to do so. Give your 10% like they did in the Bible. Give your offering. You can give 10% and give your offering. You spend more the money with that, with just a regular outing, a dinner, a restaurant. You mean to tell me you can't give 10% of what, $100 and maybe $2 or $3 more? We're talking $13, 20, 30. Might be able to do half of that if you have it. Some days you have, some days you don't. But the Lord is not asking for a specific number. Now, also, I want to point out that sowing doesn't just have to be a money thing. You can sow into people. Because that's where the real money is. You're sowing into people, help somebody out. I'm going to give my time to this person today if it's just more than lending them my ear. I'm going to help take this person to work today, or help them with the kids today, or help my neighbor today, or I'm going to help out somebody at the church. It could be somebody you don't know. So sowing comes into different forms. And believe me or not, I wasn't even going to sow into this video today. I wasn't going to do this today. But then I remembered that I said that I was going to do it because there just might be that one person out there that needs to hear this. Honestly, I'm physically and mentally fatigued, but I'm not tired. I'm not worn out, so don't count me out ever. Because my Lord will always give me strength. That's why we have prayers. And yes, I did pray, but I didn't do it for this video. I just went straight into it because I already had told the Lord the day before that I was wanting to do it, and that I already, did one the other day, or I might not do it, but I wanted to do it. I want people to know things about the Lord and about life, different things like that, to have hope that many of us don't have. I couldn't imagine being without hope. Many people in the Bible had hope, but they also had faith. And one thing I want to point out is the belief. The belief. The belief. What do you believe? It's easy to have faith. Yeah, Jesus is there, God is there, and I love him. I love him with all my heart, and I love him all my heart. Boom, something happens. All that goes down the drain. Why? Because you didn't believe. You had faith. What happened? You jumping up and down in church Sunday, Wednesday, jumping up and down, running around. But you didn't believe. Now I know what you're thinking, a lot of times, like myself, how I'm saying this to you and then not living it, and like some of the pastors and different people, they say stuff but then they don't live it. Hey, I'm telling you right now that I've lived it, and I'm still living in belief. What do you believe? And it's at every second of the day. This is a daily. I keep expressing that this is a daily faith thing. Give us this day our daily bread. Man, I want to know, who am I talking to that desperately needs to hear a word? Because I feel the Lord touching me at times. I feel his point of view saying that, hey, you need to tell these people about things, because they're just doing. Some people, I'm not even just talking about older people or younger people or whatever age, but people are just doing. Maybe it's because you're afraid, or maybe it's because you don't have knowledge, or maybe it's because it's not enough knowledge. Maybe because it's not enough knowledge to get you through. What gets you through? What knowledge gets you through? What do you want to know? What are you willing to study and learn for? How long are you willing to read the word per day? Trust me, that's the question that I have for myself. How many scriptures? How many chapters? How many passages? What? See how that's how your mind is thinking. What am I doing? What's going on? How many passages? How much time do I spend with you, Lord? How much time do you want to spend with me? He says, most of the time. What do you want to do? How many hours do you want to spend with me? How many minutes? How many seconds? Another question I have is, how many minutes or seconds does he spend with me throughout the day? Oh, that's right. He spends all day with me. He spends every second of the day with me. Good times, bad times, sad, not sad. disappointed, not disappointed. All these times he spends with us. So the question is, how much of your time are you willing to sacrifice for him? Can you read a scripture in the morning? Maybe 1 verse 2. At night, 1 verse 2. I challenge you. Time yourself. See how long you spend with the Lord. And I've done it. I've talked in the other video. I've done it. Time yourself and try to see. You say, okay, I'm going to spend this much time with the Lord, and see how much time you actually end up spending without there being any huffing and puffing or even realize that you're spending the time. Because it's going to be so amazing. And it's almost like a miracle. Really, everything can be done as a miracle. I always say we're doing stuff. That's a miracle, because we could be doing nothing, but we're doing stuff. We're reading the Bible. Well, how can we do that? If he didn't allow us to do it, we couldn't do it. So I ask you to challenge yourself. And I'm asking, ask me some questions. A lot of people ask me questions, and a lot of my videos, I'm gonna say, hey, ask questions, because I want those questions so that way I have some answers for you, and you'll know the things that you need to know. If you're just starting out and you don't know a whole lot, that's okay. There's a lot of fields in the world that people start out and they don't know at all. They don't know. So what you have to do, you have to learn. So we can take time to learn a field, a trade. We can go bodybuilding, whatever we do. But we can't take 1-2 minutes a day to read from a book that's already been written for us. 1 or 2 minutes a day. It's already been written for us. It's already been done, really. If the Lord is a forever being, and since we all know that he is, then it's already been written, it's already been done. It's just got to be processed, carried out. He already spoke on it. So why are we concerned about these little things? Concern, worry. And then he says, don't worry. And guess what we do? Myself included previously, worry. And let me tell you a little bit about me. I was worried and didn't even know that I was worrying. It's just how I do certain things. And I said, well, Lord, is that a form of worrying? Am I too worried about things? Man, what's going to happen here? Man, what's going to happen here? Why is this happening here? Why is that happening here? And I had to slow down and say, okay, Lord, things are always happening. And really, it's more of a hurry and a sick. You get sick of it. You get tired of it. You don't want these things to happen. So that's what causes the worry. But then he said, well, why are you worrying? If I told you not to worry, why are you worrying? You worry anyway. But we do. I'm thinking about some things that may be happening tomorrow and a couple of different days, and I've almost started to get to that point. And I said, no, let me calm down. That's because I have like a procedure. Some people drink their coffee and different things. And yes, I have drunk coffee, tea, things like that. But, it's like, I calm down, take a deep breath, You're going to get through it. He said you're going to get through it. So that means he already knows you're going to get through it. Because you almost can't not get through it. If you're living through life, you're going to just have to live through it, right? Right? So you can get through it. Don't worry about stuff. You say, well, hey man, I just got, so it's so many bills piling up. The Lord don't have money, and where's my money? Where's this? Where's everything that I need? Where everything I need? Okay. They say prayers and works. So number one, you have to pray about it, but it doesn't mean you work yourself to the bone till you can't work anymore. But you pray and you work, and through the prayer and work, you'll be able to get done what you need to get done. And yes, I have experienced that too. And I have accomplished many things, and I will continue to accomplish some things. And they have been through prayer. I have done nothing without the Lord, nothing without prayer. Yes, it's been hard. Well, I don't want to go through, difficult situations. Well, please find me one person that has not gone through a difficult situation. I'm talking about poor, moderate, rich, filthy, rich, wealthy. You're going to go through something because we're on earth. Don't matter how much money in your bank. Matter of fact, a lot of people, companies, who got a lot of money in the bank, they close down, then they can't handle it. And what they do. And we're not going to get into it. But just watch the TV, watch the news, listen to the radio, read the paper sometime. And you'll realize that they do things that you would never think that a rich person would do because they done lost their money. Filing for bankruptcy. Making people think that they're at one place when they're at another place. And the list goes on. But things of that nature. But I just want you to know the main thing, that you're going to have issues, but you can get through. Well, somebody might be asking, well, how can you get through? How can you be so sure that you can get through when I've seen things? I've seen people struggle and not get through and not make it. How could you be saying that on this, that you can get through? How do you say that? I cannot believe you, because you're saying that, and I know people that ain't get through. I know people that can't get through. I know people that don't want to get through. Well, okay, let's discuss you particularly. When I say you, I'm talking to everybody. That means right now, if you're watching this, you done got to this point, right? If you're watching this right now, you'd have made it to this point. Which means that you done been through some things. It is not impossible, but it's almost impossible, because I believe everything is possible, but it's almost impossible for you to be watching this right now and not have been through one single thing in your life. And you think about that one thing, and you think about right now, and ask yourself, if you're here right now, didn't you get through it? Now, since I'm doing this and I'm speaking to you, that means that I done been through some things and I done got through it. So I'm using myself as an example. So I want you to think about that for a second. I want you to think that, yes, I can get through the things that I'm doing. Might not happen overnight. A lot of stuff don't happen overnight. Think about some paperwork that you have to fill out. Think about the steps that you had to do to get to your career, or think about the steps that you had to do to kind of put the furniture and stuff in your house when you first moved in. Did that take 1 second or 1 minute? Did it take you 1 minute to move all your furniture in the house? No, you had to take time. Some people got stuff in store. It take maybe a couple of days. It takes time. Things take time. Things take time. Things take time. I know from experience. And why do I keep saying, well, I know from experience? Because a lot of people want to hear personal experience, and a lot of people want to relate to that instead of just there being Bible verses on it. But I tell a lot of people that's the same thing. If they went through something in the Bible, then we're no greater than them. We're prestigious now. No, I could give you Bible on this, but I'd rather relate to you one on one and say, hey, I can relate to what you're saying. I done been through this too, and I done got through. A preacher that I was listening to on the radio said you gotta let them know what you've been through, and you gotta let them know your experience, and you've been through things and you done got through. And a lot of times what helped me through some things is about hearing about other people's problems, which were probably multiplied by 10 on my little spectrum of problems, and it made me look really small with the problem. The problem is really small compared to what somebody else is telling me that they've been through and already got through it and already moved on and already then did stuff like start a family or have that big career and stuff like that. And people talk to me and tell me stuff all the time. So not only am I speaking for older people and younger people, and I'm speaking for past, present, and future, or anybody who can ever listen to this, is basically you can get through the things that you're going through. And a lot of people's main question is about, God, and why does he do this and this. So I want to paint you a picture. Imagine a highly intelligent being that knows every single detail of everything, not just what we see, not just the hard stuff, not just the good stuff, the in-betweens as well. Or what we call in-betweens, a lot of times in the spirit realm, the Lord speaks on good and evil. But us being like him, we speak on that too, but we have things that we might call gray areas and different things like that, and life is not in black and white and stuff like that. But I mean, it could be. If you look at it, you either choose the Lord or you don't, right? There's no in between in that. We can stop right there. Do you choose the Lord or don't you? Because there is no in between that. It's either you chose him or you didn't. So a lot of times our line is clear. We all have to go through the journey of life and different things that happen and different things like that, and the struggles and different things. So I want to just point that out and make that clear that you can get through the things that you're trying to work through. You don't have to go over the edge. You don't have to feel like you're in it by yourself, because you see other people every day. And everybody has problems. If you see somebody, if you're on the bus and they're on the bus, they got problems, you got problems. This person walking, you walking, they got problems, you got problems. If you driving and they driving, they got problems, you got problems. And just because you're on the bus doesn't mean your problem is greater or not greater as the person driving. Because sometimes the person driving problems may be greater, but it look good because they're driving, but they may have all types of problems. So my thing with saying that is don't worry about, other people's problems, their problems, and, different things like that, because you might be better off. And then don't take, a high seat on that. Oh, I'm better off. I'm better than. No. Rejoice that you are in a good position, and then you pray for those people. And be thankful in the position you have. Now I'm gonna speak on this, that a lot of times I feel a certain way about the position that I'm in because I want to be over here, but the Lord leads me over here. Just like tonight, He led me to this. I wasn't going to do this because I'm dealing with other things, but He knew that it was important, and He knew that I knew that it was important to actually stop and say, hey, this is what I need to do. These are the people I need to talk to. And I felt for a while there were people that I need to talk to and, give like the motivational speaker. Like someone once told me that would be a good thing to do. And this is just the first step into everything that I'm doing. Now, if it stops here, that would be okay too, because at least I'm stretching and I'm getting out what needs to be get out. And as I'm almost finishing, I know that you're going to have tons of questions. Like I heard a lot of questions. And the main one is, well, why did this happen? Why did this person die? Why does God, do that? Why does He, cause us to live and people die and this and that? Well, there could be a lot of answers to that question. I'm gonna go back. I always go back to Genesis and always go back to, the beginning. In the beginning, who created the heavens and the earth? I wasn't there. Was I there? Were you there? Ask yourself that question. Were you there when He started creating stuff? Yes, I know what you're going to say. He knew us before we were. Yes, I understand that. But who started off? If anything, we were just observers in, at creation. If that's the case, if He knew you before you were you. But the Lord created everything, so He has all of that under control. But why? Why do people have to die? Why do people have to do it? Why do people have... Okay, let's flip it. Well, why do good things? Why have good things happen to you? You have to look at both sides. Why have good days? Oh, I had a good day. Why? Well, why? You don't need to have a good day, right? Wrong. You need good days. And for the good, there's a bad, but there's always good because God is all good, right? So it's if you ever seen a bad situation and you've seen that bad situation, but some good come out of it, then you can understand how the Lord works. And if you can take your focus off of the bad and off of a regular thinking, because that's how we think. We think regularly. We don't think spiritually. We just think what we see. Something happened. It's bad. It's the Lord's fault. That's our first mind thinking. And technically that may be true if He created everything and every situation and everything like that. But there may be a deeper meaning, and we have to trust Him. That's where our faith comes in. That's where our belief comes in. We have to trust Him enough to move forward and understand that He has it under control. Now, I'm not going to take it to death and stay on that topic. But what I will say is that I can look at myself and look at some of my situation, and it looked like a lot of times that I wasn't going to get some things done. But I kept pursuing. I kept praying. Remember, you got to pray. And I kept pursuing, and I kept my best foot forward. And it didn't happen overnight. A lot of things didn't happen overnight. They happened through prayer. And a lot of times when you pray, when you're looking for something material, you might get that extra discount, or you wait instead of jumping right in, you get that sale that you would have never thought that you would have gotten. This is some stuff that happened to me recently, as far as like, something I needed, and I probably would have, paid a good amount for, but I didn't end up. I ended up paying something less. And I say, well, wow, you worked that fast? And he's like, yeah, it's instant. It feels like it's not because it's us. But if he already said he will give us what we desire, he will give us our heart's desire, he will take care of us, that means he's already done it. You got to remember that. Remember that he loves you. Remember that he already took care of these things. Remember that he's there through the good or what we call the bad, which could be good. Sometimes the Lord flushes things out in order for there to be good. Like when he flushed out the whole world with water. He wanted the best for us because it was so much corruption. They had gotten so corrupt. Imagine people got so corrupted. So remember, he tried to stop it. That was our first example, or at least one of many. He tried to stop it. And that way you can never say, well, he didn't try to do it. He did. He tried to stop it a few times. But nope, we human beings, we're going to do what we want to do. No one's above that. I can't say that at times I wanted to do what I want to do. Even, like I said, even today, I wanted to do what I wanted to do. Look, Lord, we go based upon our feelings. I don't feel like talking to people today. I don't feel like doing this. What we want to do, see? But what did he ask of us? What did he ask of you? What did he say to you? When he spoke, did you listen? Did you listen to your grandparents, your parents, your aunts and uncles? When he spoke, did you listen to that homeless person that said that they were hungry, or did you just keep walking? Most of us, they see them, we'll say, well, what them bums doing on the street? Did you ever stop to listen to them? I'm not saying risk your life. I'm not saying none of that stuff. If you feel as though your life is dead, yeah, of course, don't go over to them or whatever. But some of us know some, and they might just ask for a couple of change. Could I have spare change? Did you give them the change? Because some of those are angels in disguise. Gives you that tingly feeling, right, when you think about it. Like right now, I can feel that it's a little tingle right here on my side here. I can feel that because I was in that presence. And I'm pretty sure on a few occasions that I have met some. And some, I made the right decision most of the time, different things. Some I said, I don't have time. I'm trying to get to wherever I got to go. But see, now it's different. Now it's like, okay, yeah, if I encounter and if I can't help, I say, hey, I really do want to help, but I don't have it on me. But if I could, I would. That changes a whole perspective. That's in the Bible, Could be entertaining an angel, not knowing it. I feel a tingle. You could be entertaining an angel and not even know it. But we're so caught up in our careers. We're so caught up in what our friends think. We're so caught up on social media. Some people stay on that thing day and night. Don't make social media your Lord. Make Yahweh your Lord. Read the scripture. Look up to him. Now, the phone knows a lot, but it doesn't know more than the Lord. And you can use your phone. I'm not saying you can't get on social media you can't do this. And no one, I would never. You don't have to do that. If you're using it for good, yes, get on there. You might see with your friends. But let me just address something. It's a lot of people who's bullying and doing different things and saying different words and stuff like that. If I were to give you some advice, I wouldn't even want you to think that way. Don't worry about what people are saying about you and different things like that. Do what you got to do. You got to go to school. Go to school. You got to go to work. Go to work. Because people say stuff about you all the time anyway. That's not your main focus. Focus on what you're supposed to be doing. Focus on your prayers and focus on the Lord. Now with that, that's everything. Meaning the Lord is in everything. So when you talk about anything, well, why is focus on the Lord? Things happen, people. Things happen in life. Don't they happen? Don't you see the news? Don't you? Anybody read the paper? Anybody go online? Anybody listen to the radio? Anybody go on social media? Not just one thing happened. Not just one thing happened to you. Things happen to other people. And you say, well, why? Why do these things have to happen? Because things happen. The Lord makes things happen. And it's His will and His kingdom. What does the prayer say? Thy kingdom come. Remember, thy kingdom come. Meaning that it's His kingdom. So when you're doing this particular thing and you're thinking about the Lord and you're thinking about your life, concentrate on Him. Concentrate. Now I know that you'll have many questions and I got answers for you. And like I said, I accept all comments, but I don't focus on negative comments because we're trying to get to a point in the Lord. You might say something off the wall, and I'll say, well, be blessed anyway. I go straight to it. I'll address the negativity because that's a part of life too, right? But that's not my main focus. So I just want to let y'all know, throw that out there because you might be wondering, well, why is he not responding to all these negative comments and this and that and this and that? Because that's not my main focus. That's never have been my main focus. My focus has always been on the Lord. Even with me dealing with my recent situation, I wasn't even going to address everything fully, and I'm not going to get into that, but my main thing was that I was just going to focus on the Lord. The rest of the stuff to me ain't really where it's at. Anything I do, anything I deal with, any situation, any person I deal with, any good or bad situation I deal with, anything I deal with, I put the Lord first. So it's all about the Lord. I want to put one more thing out there. Think about when you are sleeping. What you do, 8 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours, 6 hours, 5 hours. Think about when you're sleeping, right? You're asleep at this point. Who's watching you while you sleep? You watch yourself while you sleep? No. Make sure that you're breathing and everything is functioning correctly while you sleep? No, you don't. So who's in control when you sleep? Answer is the Lord. Who's in control of all those hours when you're asleep? So if He controls us when we're asleep, why can't we let Him control us when we're awake? Think about it. When you go on to bed at night, you decide to pray, say your prayers and stuff like that. Just think about it before you go to sleep. If you go to sleep and he controls you when you go to sleep, why aren't you letting him control your life when you're awake? If you can trust him when you're asleep. And yes, the spiritual world is different. The dream world, you might have good and bad dreams depending upon the things that's going on. And that's another topic and a whole nother situation. But no matter what topics we discuss, we're going to come back to the same thing. But I can just give you a little bit more detail. But it all boils down to the same thing of the Lord, the Lord, the Lord, the Lord. Are you getting it? The Lord. Well, why did this happen? The Lord. Well, when it's going, the Lord. For a while, I was reading something in the scripture, and I wanted to know just God's plan. What, Lord, what is your plan? I was not real little, but I was, little. I was a young man, and I said, what is your plan? And I'm reading. I'm like, yeah. Do you want to know God's plan? That's what the Bible was saying. I didn't know his plan. And say the plan was Jesus. And I said, oh, but it made sense. Here I am looking for some type of, how they got on TV, the galaxies and galactic and the outer space and the stars and the moon. Then you got the earth with it. So I'm thinking he putting something together, and which he is, but I'm thinking it's something different. And what is the Lord looking for? Is he looking for some type of ultra thing that's going on, some type of, you got the beam, the stars just shooting down or something. Because I think vastly, so I'm thinking about this whole big ordeal with the thing and things. And yes, the Lord is elaborate. Yes, the trumpets and different things are in the word and things like that. And yes, he describes stuff in full details. But here I am looking for something out there that's so much greater and so much bigger and so much thing, and which Jesus is, but it's so simple. It's Jesus. God, what are you looking for? I'm looking to supply you with Jesus. I'm looking for you to look for me. This is why he do things in a specific way. So at all points of time, even the beginning, you're looking towards him. There was if you think about it, there was never a time where the Bible is not focused on the Lord. Now, I done touched on this subject a lot. I may do something else tomorrow, but I have a little bit of things to do this week now. So we'll see. We'll see how the Lord leads me up until tomorrow, and the next couple of days. We'll see what I'll be able to discuss. But I just wanted to get these points out. These points are important because a lot of people are losing hope because they're watching the presidencies and they're watching the things of the earth, and there's just no more hope. And if you want to know anything about me, that gets to me, because I want people to have hope. I want people to have faith. I want people to believe. It's always going to be something, but believe. Always something down here. While we're down here in this way, you want to believe on God. You want to have faith in God. And one thing I didn't say, build a personal relationship with him. Don't just say, yeah, I have faith, and then just, you just go to church or whatever. That's not really building a relationship with him. Yeah, you have faith, and Jesus died on the cross and all that. Okay, that's good. That's good. That's great. And you're saved. Yes, all that is good. But walk with the Lord. They have this thing with being lukewarm, a lukewarm Christian, or thing that you don't have to be those type of Christian. Will you make it into heaven? Will you do it? Yeah, you could, but you don't want to just kind of be in there. Hey, I'm here. You want to be ready for the Lord. And see, I'm still developing, but I'm definitely ready for the Lord Jesus. But I still have a few things. Like I was saying in the last one, make sure y'all have things in order. That's in the Bible. Get your affairs, everything in order. Make sure your house is in order. Make sure things are in order. Not just to do it, just because the Lord loves you enough to share it with you to do it. Get your things in order. And I'm getting mine in order, and it's not just because it's the right thing to do or because the way I feel. Man, I feel this way, I feel that way. Uh, it's because it's because of the Lord. Basically, I was going to do some things several years back, but it just felt like a lot of attacks were coming, things that keep happening. I said, what's going on? All this is to stop you, to keep you from doing what you're going to do. But keep pushing, y'all. Keep pursuing. And I'll tell you this thing right here. If I have not given up, it takes a lot for me to give up on something. It takes a whole lot. Trust me. It takes a lot for me to just throw in that towel and say, you know what, that's it. I'm done with this. I'm done with that. But if I still haven't given up on the Lord, I'm not going to let you give up on the Lord. I want to hear from those people that say, I appreciate you for letting me know about the Lord. Because I'm just going to tell them it's all the Lord. I'm just going to keep coming back to it. It's the Lord. Because it don't have nothing to do with me. I want those people to say, you know what? I appreciate you telling me about this. Because no one has took the time out to actually break it down for me and spend time to let me know about all this information and how important this is to my life. And the one thing about the Lord that I like is that, you could still, he still gives us freedom. So I'm not saying, go out there. Oh yeah, you can go out there and you can tear up all the strip clubs and go to the club and it just is as much as you want to do anything that you want to do. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that at all. No. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that he gives us free will, so though you have options, you may go out and hang out with your friends and stuff like that. But make sure that you could do it biblically. Make sure that you're not doing the most of the most. You know how we as people get. We go out there and we show off. But there's a way of doing things. And I'm not saying what's a right thing to do and what's a wrong thing to do. You might be the type of person that go and get your wine or get your beer every now and then and not really bother nobody and different things like that. Now, you may know something different than me, but me personally, I know that Jesus turned water into wine. And yes, there were other beverages and stuff during that certain time period, and even now. So I don't think that there will be any problem with you indulging in wine. Definitely no problem in the wine, or maybe occasional beer or something like that. But we ain't talking about the hard liquor. You having liquor every day, liquor Grey Goose every day, Grey Goose every weekend. You just drinking, guzzling down the Grey Goose, the Mad Dog 2020. Yes, I know about it. So don't act surprised that I don't know about. I know about the liquors. You got the Ciroc, and you popping the bottles and doing all that. Now, for some live the life, and trust me, the Lord is in these people's lives too, and He knows how to change them, and He knows what they need. But I'm not gonna sit here on camera and tell you that's what you're supposed to be doing all the time. And I wouldn't be sitting here on camera telling anybody else that that's what they're supposed to be doing all the time, no matter how much money you do or don't have in the bank. I would not encourage for people to be drinking anything that's not good for their body. And like I said, everybody's situation is different. You might have a hard day at work. You might be that officer or firefighter or engineer, and you might need a beer that day, and you sit down and you drink that beer that day. That's understandable. You think the Lord not with you when you do stuff like that, or when you have a hard day, or don't know that you're about to drink a beer? He knows all these things. We focus on the wrong things. In certain churches that I've been to, I'm gonna give you a little bit of that, and then we're gonna get off of that.